Welcome to the Cowboy Bros podcast. I'm your host, Terrence, and with me is my co-host, Jason, calling in from the back cave in Indianapolis. Jason, how are you, my good man?
Hey, man, you know what it is. It's record day for the Cowboy Bros, so I'm feeling up as usual. We're not matching shirts today no more. I see you try with the orange. I said, no, I'm not doing that two weeks in a row. So I had to break it up. But I'm here ready to go. Got 3 really good topics to talk about. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for listening. This is episode 62 of the Cowboy Bros podcast. For the uninitiated, Cowboy Bros is the podcaster here. We are a weekly podcast of fans of sports, current events, and entertainment.
And as always, we are your hosts, Terrence and Jason. And every single Thursday, we come to you with a brand new episode where we discuss the current events of the day, sports, and the athletes we love.
And even some of the athletes we loathe. No matter the topic, you can expect a brutally honest and fun exchange of snark while learning through the lens of our 30 years of friendship that originated in Calumet Park, Illinois.
And folks, for more Cowboy Bros content, make sure you connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok under the handle Cow Park Bros or Cow Park Bros Podcast for more behind the scenes of the show and just to engage with us every single day. But do not forget that the Cow Park Bros Podcast is available to listen and subscribe for free wherever you and your folks and your people listen to podcasts.
Like us, love us, share us, follow us. And folks, if you like us, hell, why wouldn't you?
That's right, folks. Like Terrence said earlier, we are the podcast to hear and watch. So make sure you're living it, loving it, and doing it.
All right. Let's get into it. This whole NBA Finals done came and went. And it feels like we talked a lot of basketball just indirectly the last 2 weeks, but we really, I don't feel like we really focused on the finals.
Well, you know how we like to wait till things to be over first, and now they're over. So here we are.
Yeah. I think number one, Steph finally got that MVP, dog.
That's a resume booster. I don't know if that was hanging over his head at all, but definitely people like to hold it against him, that the fact that they won those championships, but he wasn't the MVP. He wasn't the guy, the man. So now that's off the books now. He got his MVP along with his 4th ring. Clay got his 4th ring too, obviously. And other individuals that I'm not going to name. But
Draymond, I'll name them. I'll name it for you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're going to talk about the big 3, dog. You can't leave out the 3rd option.
Well, okay. We can get into that too if you want to talk about big 3, but okay. It ain't Draymond. Moving on.
I think it is a resume booster. I mean, anytime you get a finals MVP, it's a resume booster. And a finals MVP has never not been a resume booster. I just don't think it's going to make this ginormous leap that a lot of people want it to be for Steph Curry. And that's okay. Like, guys, gals, non-binary, it's okay if Steph Curry is not in the top 10 of all time NBA players. It's really okay. It's really okay. It's really okay. It's okay for Under Armour. It's okay for Aisha. It's okay for Seth. It's okay for his parents. It's okay. Don't be a prisoner of the moment.
I've been using that term a lot in these last few days since the finals have been over, because, of course, you've been seeing people, not just with the Warriors talk, but primarily with Steph Curry. When it comes to, like you said, ranking him in the top 10, top 5, is he better than Magic now? What more does he have to do to be better than LeBron? Not now that they have the same amount of rings, blah, 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 blah. And it's total living in the moment type stuff. Even some experts now want to vault Steph Curry into being one of the 10 greatest players of all time. And that in itself could be a segment for a different show. A whole segment by itself. But I'd say whenever whoever's making that opinion, I think you might want to think about that deeply before you say he's top 10. Because we can only automatically assume who probably the top 2 are, and probably jump into a third person automatically in that top 10. So you tell me Steph Curry is one of the next 7 best players? Come on, dog. Think about it like that. Think about that, please.
I think the only thing more ridiculous than, that knee-jerk reaction when someone, wins a championship or wins, a playoff accolade like Finals MVP. I kind of responded. I know it's not the same, but I kind of laugh it off because I look at it the same way I do like all-star selections. I'm just like, hey, this is how you feel in the moment. It's half of a season. Or in this case, it's damn near 10 days of work. You have to talk about something, I guess. But yeah, for me, Steph Curry absolutely, he feathers out the resume. It's another feather in the cap. He's already getting in the hall. He's already arguably one of the best shooters of all time, for God's sake. But some of these people tell on themselves. And to your point, pundits alike. Oh, what is it? What will it take for him to surpass LeBron? LeBron didn't even make the playoffs. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the teams that actually were playing.
Another thing I say to this when it comes to Steph Curry entering into the top 10 and passing certain individuals, I'll say this. And I specifically LeBron, I guess, but really anybody. When it comes to like Jordan and LeBron, during their eras and when they played, they were considered, those two individuals were considered the best basketball player in the game, in the world, while they played. So to that, I'd say to anybody asking what he'd have to do to get better than LeBron, to be honestly, probably nothing he could do because of that alone. As good as Steph Curry is, nobody in the right mind thinks of Steph Curry as the best basketball player in the world. Nobody.
I mean, that's a stretch.
And that's again, in the right mind. Like I say, in the right mind, there's no way. There's no. Just stop. No. Yeah, I guess it's okay. It's okay to have that opinion, but they're completely
incorrect. Okay to have opinion, but it's also okay to have better and more formulated and informed opinions. Here's the thing. The guy, other than not wearing J's, what's the knock on his game? Like
some people can knock his game. Steph Curry? Okay. It depends on who you ask. It depends on who you ask. Seriously, I mean, I just saw an article earlier about Chris Paul about the whole legacy talk, was saying that Steph Curry is not even one of the greatest point guards of all time because he's not a facilitator, which is the role of a point guard. Who said that? Chris Paul. Now again, obviously people can say whatever they want about the messenger in that case, but in theory, it's a valid opinion. It's a viable one, as you like to say. It has merit, Again, people can argue with it, but yeah, people can definitely knock his game, and they've done it. So, but I really kind of think this could be more of it's definitely, like I said, him winning a 4th championship and the MVP is definitely a resume booster just in general. But I also think too is where does this boost the resume of this run of the Warriors when it comes to. I mean, I found an article. I'm sure there's not just them, but I found an article from Yahoo Sports talking about the Warriors dynasty. And to me, as good as their run has been, 4 championships in 8 years, I don't think this is a dynasty. Now keep in mind, obviously, when we say dynasties when it comes to sports, it's totally subjective. I recognize that. I'm not an idiot. I recognize that. But in my subjective opinion, this is not a dynasty. Your thoughts on that, sir?
Okay. Let's just assume that I'm willing to indulge this fuckery.
Well, obviously you are because we're talking about it. So.
Yeah. Obviously we are because I agreed to do this damn show with you. How do you even, since it's subjective? I'm glad you own it. How the hell do you even qualify?
Okay,
what's the level? What's the benchmark of a dynasty?
Okay, so I know last week we had this whole thing with you in yes or no questions, but I'm gonna ask you another yes or no question. See if we can continue the streak of 62 episodes without you actually answering a yes or no question. Do you, Terrence Brown, think the Chicago Bulls of the 90s was a dynasty?
Not only do I think it was a dynasty.
See once again, you yes or no, bro.
And they know it's a dynasty. Don't do yes no questions. You shut the hell up. I'm off yes no questions. I'm off that narcotic. Get the hell out of here.
Okay, so yeah, you agree. Obviously, that's a dynasty. Okay, so
it's a dynasty. Yeah.
Okay, great. I agree. I'm pretty sure most people would agree.
But
Six
why is
championships.
it a dynasty and this one isn't?
I'm getting into that. I'm just saying that we can use that as a baseline benchmark. Okay, the Bulls won 6 championships in 8 years. Okay, so in this scenario, the Warriors have won 4 championships in 8 years. My thing is, to be a dynasty, you have to win 4 championships in whatever time frame we're talking about, and they've done that. But the problem is this: 2 things. Well, one, they have a back to back, which is one qualifier. But the problem is they just won the championship in 2022. Correct? When was the last time they won the championship before this?
That's at least 2 Achilles heel injuries before. I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It does not matter
to me. It matters to me. You leaving
that still doesn't make it a dynasty, bro.
You leaving shit out. Listen, when all these light skinned motherfuckers are done playing, ain't nobody gonna bring up, oh well, there was a 3-year gap.
Try 4, buddy.
In their NBA resume employment history. The hell is this? You ain't HR.
What I'm saying though, when we look at championships, what's all going to be looked at? Because at the end of the day, as we talked about before in several episodes, after a certain point, no one's going to remember who came in second place. And when we look at the championships, what's it going to say? The Warriors won in 2018, didn't win again until 2022. And I think that's part of the problem for them is they had that gap in that time frame of the 8 years we're talking about where they didn't win a championship. And I think that ruins anything for to be considered a dynasty when you have that big, long gap of time. So, yeah, they had the 4 championships. Are great. They won a back-to-back.
We saying had like the shit, like Clay didn't just fall in this damn parade today. That's what's crazy. Now you do sound crazy.
How? What did I say that was factually incorrect?
It's crazy to say that 4 rings in 8 years is somehow not a dynasty. And the reason why I can say that it's a dynasty because the Lakers, who got 3 rings in 10 years, is absolutely a dynasty.
No, it isn't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, disagree with your mama.
Well, see, here's the thing. That's the part.
They won 3 in a row.
And then what happened? Exactly. Exactly. Thank you.
Listen, I challenge
exactly.
you. I challenge you to win 3 rings in anything you do. Guess what? Your ass get the kind of coach for the decade.
But that don't make it a dynasty, though. That makes it a
dynasty.
It's a good run, but it's not a dynasty.
Okay. All right. I feel like anybody that's actually rooting for the Indiana Pacers in their life should not actually have a real say in this.
That actually makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, because y'all ain't won shit.
Because obviously I would root for the Bulls too, who have won a dynasty. So that kind of just claims your argument there. And the fact of the matter is, who I root for makes no difference because
it kind of does.
Actually, it doesn't because I'm not an ignorant fan like most people you probably know. But so the point is, yeah, you can win 3 championships in a row. That's a great run, and any team, any sport will take winning 3 in a row. But when it comes to dynasties, you can't win those 3 in a row and then just fall off the map when it comes to championships.
But somehow, being consistent and winning 1 every other year is also not a dynasty.
Because they didn't win 1 every other year. Because they didn't win 1 every other year. They didn't win 1 every other year. Like I said, they didn't win 4 years without winning 1. Dude, that's not every other year.
Hey, Jason, I'm not going to go if Johnny had 5 apples on you 100%, but 4 rings in 8 years is 1/2.
Yeah,
that is every other year.
But when you won 75% of those in the first half of the 8 years, so that's my whole point. You can't have that. You can't fall off and still be a dynasty.
They've never fallen off. They've never fallen off.
When it comes to championships,
by so many pundits, because frankly, we gotta hate this team. We hate how close to beating the Bulls 72 record that they got.
Don't say we. Don't say we.
No, Jason, it's not about you. So let's pretend it's not about you for 2 seconds. We collectively, as a sportsdom, hate this team because they were so damn good. And they are so damn good. You want to talk about a comeback story? These guys were in the fucking lottery.
Okay, great. Okay.
And their nucleus, their big 3, Draymond, Clay, Steph, there's something about being resilient and coming back and winning a 4th one when everybody was ready to either crown Boston or Milwaukee, Miami, everybody's ready to crown somebody else. Hell, remember when somebody thought Phoenix was actually going to do some shit this playoffs? It was great.
Well, I do want to point out when it comes to that, you and I both predicted the Warriors were going to win. So I do want to point that out. Big pub to us. So I wasn't ready to crown anybody other than the Warriors because they were there. We picked them anyway. So it's what it is.
You want to crown them? Crown them.
How appropriate senior high you wearing that Bears jersey, but a Bears shirt, whatever it is. But yeah, again, not saying the Warriors are hey, great accomplishment. Great story. Like you said, agreed. You know, a whole lottery, all stuff like that. Comeback story, as you want to put it. But when it comes to Dynasty, again, in my opinion, it is not, especially when compared to actual dynasties that dominated their years we're talking about. So
yeah, he's talking about the Ming Dynasty. Anyways.
No, Bulls, UConn winners basketball, both times, 2 times. You know, I mean, I can keep going. The Canadians, the Lakers, the 80s Lakers, Alabama football in the 2010s, dynasties.
Yeah, if we're going to use that, I mean, the Chicago Blackhawks didn't necessarily win every other year, but they won enough. Objectively, they're a dynasty. So, respectfully,
yeah. Also agree that's not a dynasty. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, that concludes our fun segment on the NBA champion Golden State Warriors. Props to Steph on finally getting that Finals MVP. And coming up next, we're talking about Prayer Pete. Coming up next on Calpart Bros.